So here's what I want to do. I want to give you 9 nevers for a fair fight. Because here's the goal. The goal is not to win. I don't know if you know this or not, but if you win, you lose. Okay, the goal is not to win a fight. Either you both win or you both lose. That's all that there is. That we don't fight to win, we fight to forgive. That we want to bring forgiveness into the relationship so that way we can begin to love one another so the marriage can actually get better. So here's what I want to do. I want to give you 9 nevers in a fight. How many of you like UFC? Do we have any UFC fans in the room? Any UFC fans? Okay. Whenever the UFC first started, like in the 90s, there was no rules. It was basically just beat the mess out of each other. And there was like bloody noses and like broken arms and everybody's hitting below the belts. I mean, it was not good. And eventually they were like, yeah, we need to get some rules in this because people are dying. We need to figure this out. So they got a referee, they got some rules, and then all of a sudden, it's become one of the most successful sporting industries in the entire world. I mean, people are making like millions of dollars for fighting. Okay, it's become successful. I want to help you put some rules in the fight so that way you can become successful when it comes to your fight too. Here are 9 nevers. I'm going to go through them fast. You can take a picture on the screen or you can take notes. Let me give you 9 nevers for a fair fight. The first one is this: never speak rashly. Right? Don't just say something without thinking about it. No, you want to be calm, cool, and collected. Never fight in public. This is huge. It's awkward for everybody around you, and it makes the matters worse when you get home. Never fight in public. And especially, never criticize your husband publicly as well. It's really bad whenever a man does it to a woman publicly, but internally it does something very humiliating for the man as well. So make sure you never fight in public. Number 3, never use your kids, period, point blank. Don't argue in front of your kids, and don't use your kids especially as leverage against your spouse. Because children are blessings, not bargaining chips. So do not use your children. Never say always or never, or you will always never win always. Does that make sense? Never say always or never, because you will never win always never if you always say never or always. Do not never always say never. Never get historical. When you get hysterical, let's be honest, you get historical. Right? When you get hysterical, you get historical. And all of a sudden they're getting in trouble for things that they did in the 8th grade. And you're like, that was so long ago. Like, you become an archaeologist digging up old bones. Don't do that. Don't get historical. Keep it on subject. Never raise your voice. Definitely never raise your hand. And never be sarcastic, because that helps, doesn't it? Never go to bed angry. How many of y'all do the toe thing? Do you know what I'm talking about? The toe thing? Hey, don't tell me you don't know the toe thing. I mean, me and Ashley can't be the only couple who has. It's like an unwritten rule in relationships. When you go to bed angry and you're laying in bed, and you're on your side, and they're on their side, and then there's the demilitarized zone in the middle. This is my side of the bed. That's your side of the bed. And if your toe crosses that line, we are fighting tonight, right? So for me, Ashley's allergic to apologies, okay? Like, she breaks out in hives or something like that. And so what happens is Ashley does a lot like the Shulamite woman does. When we get in a fight, she doesn't say, I'm sorry. What she does is she shows it through affection. And she says, my beloved is mine. And that's not what she does. What she does is we'll be laying in bed and she'll do the toe thing. I'll be like, and all of a sudden, here comes the toe. And I say, get that toe away from me. No footsies for you tonight. This is my side of the bed. Right? Anybody else do that? Y'all know the toe thing. How many of y'all have done the toe thing, right? You're like, I don't really want to say I'm sorry, but this is all you get. You get the toe, right? But there's something really important about that. Actually, Paul says this in Ephesians chapter 4, verse 26. He says, do not let the sun go down on your anger, lest you give the devil an opportunity in your life. Unresolved conflict is an open door for the demonic in your marriage. Unresolved conflict in your marriage is an open door to where you're inviting Satan to come in and to attack you and to turn your spouse against you. Listen, Satan hates marriages. I don't know if you knew that or not, but Satan hates marriages because God made marriage. God hates whatever Satan creates. And if God made marriage and God can make your marriage better, you better believe that Satan's going to do whatever he can to be able to torment, to attack you. And his biggest use and weapon against you is bitterness and unforgiveness. If he can get bitterness in your heart, that's like drinking poison and expecting your spouse to die. It doesn't work. You're killing yourself. You're killing the marriage. And here's what Satan knows. Satan knows that if he can turn you against your spouse, y'all will shoot each other and he don't have to attack you anymore. That's what bitterness does. Because you're holding it in and you're not getting resolution, you're not getting reconciliation, and you're carrying the hurts, the wounds, the hardships, and every single day your love is growing cold, your veil is being removed, and you're taking shots against your spouse. You are no longer a threat to Satan because he's already come in and now you're shooting each other. That's what bitterness and unforgiveness does. Listen, you can either bring hell into your marriage through unforgiveness or you can forgive and pull heaven down. This is why Jesus talks in the Lord's Prayer, thy kingdom come, thy will be done. And then immediately he says, forgive us of our debts as we forgive those who have committed debts or trespasses against us. That you need to forgive because it brings the kingdom of God into your home. Forgiveness brings the kingdom of God into your marriage. Forgiveness brings the kingdom of God into your relationship. Unforgiveness, bitterness pulls hell up into your marriage. And if you do not learn to forgive, then your marriage will not get better. Instead, your heart will grow more and more bitter. Listen, here's the goal of a good fight. The goal of a good fight is to fight right and forgive fast. You want to fight right and you want to forgive fast. Me and Ashley, we used to have this thing where we would say, whoever apologizes first wins the argument. And that was really good for a while because Ashley can't apologize. And I found myself apologizing for things where I didn't actually mean. And I thought, I'm winning, but I was actually losing because I thought the goal was to win. No. The goal of a good fight is to forgive. That's the goal of a fight. The goal of a fight is to forgive as fast as you can so the kingdom of God can come into that marriage. Because if you don't forgive, you're bringing hell up into that marriage.